Hi everybody, I hope you are doing well. It's going to be another Halloween series video. I'm going to be so glad when this is done. I'm really surprised I'm not having nightmares about this shit, but I'm really not. It's been pretty damn good, surprisingly. So, anyways, today's video is called Killer Confesses Film by Rob Zombie Made Him Kill. You know, they're always trying to use some kind of ruse to try to get away with murder. Oh, this movie made me do it. Oh, this the porn on TV, the porno movies made me do it. Ted Bundy. So anyways, let's get into it. It starts off with in his own words. So apparently, I don't know how this is going to go about. I did not read ahead, so let's get into it. In a 4-page confession, he talked about how he killed Jamie Evans, 48, his mother, and his sister Mallory, 15, inside their home on October 3rd, 2012. In the affluent neighborhood of Aledo, Texas. Just hours after the murders, he talked to authorities about the movie and how he had watched it 3 times leading up to the slayings. Wait, which movie is it? I wonder if they're going to say which movie it was. Rob Zombie has some really good movies. I don't know. We'll find out. Part of Jake Evans' written confession is included that he signed hours after killing his mother and sister. After I watched the movie, I put it back in the case and threw it in the trash can so that people wouldn't think that it influenced me in any way. But then you're going to use it as, your motive, whatever. Throwing the movie away would be the only measure Jake took to hide what he had done. While watching it, I was amazed at how at ease the boy was during the murders and how little remorse he had afterward. I was thinking to myself, it would be the same for me when I kill someone. Jake didn't just plan to kill his mother and one sister. He also had fantasized about killing his grandparents and his other sisters. Sick kid. Jake thought about this right before he started killing while he was playing golf. Luckily, his other sisters and grandparents weren't there, and his father was out of town for work. That whole poor family. As the day wore on and his thoughts of killing intensified, he sat watching the presidential debate with his mother and sister. He said he just sat in the living room thinking about how I was going to kill my family. My plan was to kill my sister and my mom at my house and then go over to my grandparents and kill my oldest sister, Emily, and my 2 grandparents. Then I was going to wait until morning and kill my other sister, Audrey, because she was visiting from college. Jake told investigators that he envisioned causing his sister pain by stabbing her with a folding knife that had belonged to his father. I went back upstairs and kept pacing back and forth, imagining killing Mallory, he said. Thoughts of causing her pain kept entering my mind and were really bothering me. But then I'd think about the time she hurt my feelings. But then he had a change of heart, deciding that he didn't want his victims to feel anything. He just wanted them dead. After a while, I thought to myself that if I were to kill my mom and Mallory, I wouldn't want them to feel anything, so I decided to kill them both with the .22 revolver I stole from my grandpa. Leading up to pulling the trigger, Jake said he kept opening the gun cylinder up over and over again. That doesn't make sense. But anyways, I then spent probably over an hour walking nervously around the house thinking how life will never be the same and how I would never see them again. After having psyched himself up, he put his plan into action. It was about 11:15 that night. I knocked on my sister's door and told Mallory that Mom needed her. She came out and, out of the corner of her eye, saw me pointing the gun at her. She thought I was joking and told me that I was freaking her out. I shot her in the back of the head. Oh, I shot her in the back and then in the head. I ran down to the study and shot my mom 3 times. After this, he ran into his bedroom and began screaming at the top of his lungs, filled with adrenaline. In shock, I ran to my room and was screaming at the top of my lungs that I am really messed up and that I killed my mom and sister. As he started to empty the spent cartridges from the gun, he heard noises coming from his sister's room. His sister wasn't dead, but he shot her in the back and in the head. She's a tough cookie. As I emptied the shells out of my bed, I heard noises and realized that Mallory was still alive, he said. While I loaded the gun back up, I was shouting that I am sorry and then ran as fast as I could to kill her. I made sure my mom was dead and shot her again in the head. Called to 911. Very shocked and scared, I placed the gun on the kitchen counter and walked into the living room to dial 911. In talking with the 911 operator, Jake didn't hold back. It just kind of happened. I've been kind of planning on killing for a while now. I guess this is really selfish to say, but to me, I felt like they were just suffocating me in a way. Obviously, I am pretty, I guess, evil. The dispatcher kept him talking while police and rescue teams were sent to the house. Dispatcher, is there any reason you were so mad at your mother and sister? Jake Evans, I don't know. I wasn't even really angry with them. It just kind of happened. I've been kind of planning on killing them for a while now. Dispatcher, the two of them or just anybody? Jake Evans, pretty much anybody. So why did he want to kill those closest to him? When I look at people, especially teenagers, I see them as being very cruel to one another emotionally, he wrote. It seems that their favorite hobby is picking on someone else. The people who are racists, bullies, and who are full of themselves are the really evil ones, and it amazes me because those three qualities are extremely common today. I was very sad because I felt like my own family were becoming the people I hate. He ends it with, I know now that I'm done with killing. It's the most dreadful and terrifying thing I will ever experience and will haunt me forever. Jake Evans was charged with capital murder, which is punishable by life in prison without parole or the death penalty in Texas. As years passed by after the murders and confession, Jake and what to do with him sat in limbo. At the time of the killings, he was only 17. And then there was the question of his mental state. Was he competent to stand trial? After meeting with two psychologists and both determining he was incompetent to stand trial originally, he was placed in a state mental health hospital. Jake stayed there until 2015, when doctors believed he was then competent. A letter from his family was given to the court. The undersigned family members of Jacob Jake Evans, Jamie Evans, and Mallory Evans appreciate the state's plea bargain offer of 45 years on 2 counts of murder to run concurrently as the disposition of this case. We wish to close this chapter of our lives in order to continue healing as a family. Jake Evans eventually pled guilty to 2 counts of murder and the death of his mother and sister. He received 45 years on each count that will run concurrently, and the capital murder count was waived as part of the plea deal. Jake will have to serve half of his incarcerated time before he is eligible for parole. That's the end of that story. These ones are just quick as hell. I am loving that. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that he was insane when he did that shit? You guys already know. They always use that shit as a ruse. And you see that shit so much that they shouldn't even allow none of that shit no more. Oh, I was insane at the time that I committed the murders and killed my whole family. I watched a movie. I don't know, guys. It's sick. I think he's right where he belongs. I hope he rots in prison because his sister was 15. His mom. No, I don't think his family did anything to him. I think he was just a piece of shit. Honestly, that's my own opinion. I'd like to hear your guys' comments down below. And on that note, if you guys liked my video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.